Gaming reviews done quick. 2,479 zombies were killed in the making of the 1 Minute Rundown. I'm Octrinity, your host, and maybe my recording equipment is made of chocolate. Okay, it isn't. But this time we're running down Left 4 Dead. It's a first-person shooter with an emphasis on cooperative play for up to 4. Players take the role of a survivor in a zombie outbreak, trying to make it to safety, specifically from checkpoint to checkpoint, to eventually reach a safe haven, all while mowing down as many zombies as you can. It's built from the ground up to be a co-op game, one where players are encouraged to help each other, and the biggest mistake you can make is moving too far away from your team, though there's a versus mode included as well. Each game has multiple scenarios available, but there's merit to replaying the same scenario, since enemy and weapon placement are all arranged semi-randomly based on how well you're doing, through a mysterious background character referred to as the AI director. I'm reviewing 2 games here, and I'm doing so several years after their release, with a lot of content made available after launch included. All set here, radio in when ready. I generally don't like FPS games because so much can happen outside of what I can see or sense that it's hard to figure out what I'm doing wrong. Even after several hours, I still don't find keyboard and mouse all that intuitive. So obviously, I'm reviewing these as someone outside their comfort zone. That said, I did have fun with this, probably because it's harder to make a single mistake that's going to get you outright killed. About the only things that'll do that are trying to provoke a certain enemy type or getting split from your team. A typical campaign in this takes about an hour to play and contains about 5 episodes, each of which tend to go through a different sort of environment. It's cool that they have so many, and enemy and item placement changes each time so you get a fresh experience each time. But on the other hand, most of the campaigns don't really feel that much different from each other, since you use pretty much the same formula and enemy types. Still though, if you and your friends are looking for a good time where you have to work as a team, this will do nicely, and yet I'm also going to recommend you skip this one because all the campaigns got ported to the next game with the same improvements. Now about the second game. It's very similar to the first, enough that I can understand why there was controversy about not just releasing as an update to the first game, but it does fix enough issues that even without the content from the prequel ported over, it's the better game. Primarily the differences come from having a few extra weapons and enemy types, with a couple of special enemies restricted to different campaigns. Supposedly the new enemies were designed to thwart some boring yet effective strategies from before, so it shouldn't surprise you this is a harder game. The campaigns are also a bit more dynamic, more frequently including some clear stress points involving alarms sounding, delivering an item, or some other incident involving large swarms that come at you while trying to progress, as well as going through much more varied locations and scenarios. New weapons are thrown in the middle of nowhere about as often as you'll run out of ammo for the one you're carrying, so you'll probably be changing your weapon fairly often too. So yeah, huge improvements in variety. It's probably not going to be something I'll voluntarily play all that much, but I could easily be talked into joining friends playing it. Now, in spite of me saying several times this was a good co-op game, I haven't really tried to explain why that is, because honestly, my reasons for saying so go deeper than that and extend far beyond this game specifically. I mean, yes, on the surface, it is, since it's a game where everyone has a common goal, where you need to work together and discuss things as a team, and everyone has an important role to play in keeping the team safe. But there are a lot of reasons why this might not be a good co-op game, and those reasons have less to do with this game specifically and more the medium it's working with. For one, as a PC game, which is the version I'm using for this review, there's no local multiplayer, which in turn means everyone's going to need their own copy of the game, a commitment of itself. But it also means you're going online, and there's my issue. Online play, and for that matter online culture, is pretty impersonal by nature. Chances are you're not going to know the people you're playing with unless you pre-arranged it, and that paves the way towards a lot of unbridled hostility. Let's say one among your group of 4 is not as good as the rest of your group. You're probably going to blame that person for most of your team's mistakes. And in this impersonal world, that's going to cut into your enjoyment, let alone that specific person if people are vocal about it. But not so when you're playing with a group of friends, where it's more about the camaraderie than the game itself, where it's hard to stay mad at the players for not being good enough since you're still friends in the end, and even harder to say straight to their face they're not good enough, and really, it's better that way. I mean, did you notice earlier when I talked about multiplayer, I specifically mentioned friends? Really, it wouldn't surprise me if most of the people watching this would choose to play with people in the same room instead of playing online, and that online is really just the safety option when they can't get everyone over, or their friends just aren't available. I know that describes me pretty well. Sure, most of the time we're playing to win, but that's just a stepping stone of what we're really after, to have a good time. And if getting or receiving hostility from a teammate you haven't met and probably won't see again is cutting into that, then maybe it's time we reevaluate what's a good time. And that's all for Left 4 Dead. From what I can tell, new content on these games has stopped with the last major update sometime in 2013. The rumor mill says the next Left 4 Dead game is currently under construction and will be released sometime in 2017, though this coming from a company notorious for almost never reaching their target release date. We'll see. But in the meantime, you might also enjoy some zombie-based shooting games like Resident Evil, The Last of Us, or Dead Island. You should also check back soon for the next 1 Minute Rundown for another team-based game, except one where you'll play as the whole team. See you. Hello?
Hey, Octrinity, it's the narrator. Remember from a few episodes ago?
Hey, I remember you. I'm kind of busy right now, though. I'm in the middle of an episode. Can I call you back?
Oh no, you and your viewers are gonna want to hear this. Which game are you doing?
Left 4 Dead.
Oh, that makes so much sense now.
What does?
Okay, you know that abandoned courthouse you and the producer were using, correct? Do you know what happened there afterwards?
No, after I just went back home. Why, did the producer get Left 4 Dead?
Did you just...
Yes, I jest. But go on.
Well, did you notice he started using the same game abilities you were using?
Yeah.
Would you like to guess why I'm bringing this up?
Wait, really?
I've got it on video. Just sent it to you.
Okay, I'm gonna want to see this. Let's see.